Okay, so that's about half past just now. My name's Leanne, if you don't know me. Hope everybody's well this morning. So this morning we're going to be doing a yoga-based stretch class. So it's a deep stretch class. It's not specifically a yoga class, but a lot of the stretches we do will be yoga-inspired, yoga-based stretches, they might be familiar. It's very multi-level, so please take everything at your own level. Just listen to your body. Every day flexibility is different, so don't force yourself into any pose that you don't feel able for. If anybody's got any injuries, please don't do anything that the doctor's told you you can't, so just stay safe. This is a nice gentle class. We should get a nice deep stretch. Now we're going to be focusing a lot on hips, quite a lot on thoracic spine. So if we're sitting, a lot of people are working from home, and then obviously we're in lockdown, we're sitting a lot more than we might be used to. So just trying to stretch out those hip flexors that are getting tight from sitting, working on our sofas or at our dining room table. Yeah, mostly floor-based today, so don't have to do too much standing up. So, I'd like to begin seated. Just bring the soles of the feet together. You can take hold of the ankles, and I just want you to think about lengthening the spine. So think about creating space between your vertebrae. Sit up tall out of the hips, and just start to calm the breath. So slow down your breathing. Just find your focus. Take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, just start to tip forward from your hip with a nice long back. Now you can use your elbows as a lever to open the thighs a little wider, just to the edge of discomfort but not pain. Try and think about a long back, so send the hips back. The tip is coming from your hip rather than your spine. Slow, deep inhalations and even longer exhalations. Now rising up. Keep the feet where they are and just start to lie back, and your hands can come either to your sides or above your head, wherever you're comfortable. Just let gravity pull the knees down. Now today we're going to hold a lot of our stretches for a long time to get the full benefits. If at any point it becomes too strong and you need to come out of a stretch, that's no problem. You can always take a break and join us again when you're ready. Draw the knees together. Draw the knees to your chest. Hug them in nice and tight. And if you like, just take a little roll here, massage the spine. Rock yourself up to seated. And we're going to start to work into our hips. So I want you to take your right leg, long lunge forwards. Now just let the left hip sink down. You want this knee over your ankle and a long stride here so that we can get a good stretch into the hip. Now if this is a strong enough stretch, just stay here. If you need a bit of padding for your knee, you can pop a cushion underneath the knee. You can lift the knee off the floor if you prefer. If you want a deeper stretch, hands are coming to the floor. Feel free to move around in each pose, play with the stretch. Focus on your exhalations. So as the bite of the stretch starts to ease off, with every exhale, just allow yourself to sink a little deeper. can choose to stay here. We'll come all the way down onto your elbows. Feel free to stay up on the hands or even hands to thigh if you feel like this is a little bit too much this morning. Just allow your body to accept the stretch. Try not to tense any muscles. Soften those hips, let go of any grip that you're holding on to. If you're on your elbows, just climb back onto your hands. We're going to take the foot, the right foot, a heel turn wider, and just let it roll onto the outside edge of your foot. Then turn your body towards the leg and just gently apply some pressure to that thigh. Not forcing it, just gentle pressure. It's just going to change the feel of the stretch. Now, place the foot flat back on the floor and just turn towards the right leg, opening up the right arm. A nice open through the shoulder. And your eye gaze can come towards your top hand to increase that stretch. Hand comes down, tuck under your left toe at the back and just step back to down dog. So push your chest back towards your thighs. Firm hands and feet on the floor. And think about your hip bones towards the ceiling. Body floats forwards to plank. We're going to vinyasa, so down through crocodile to up dog. Tuck toes, push back to down dog. From here, lift your left leg in the air and take it all the way through between those hands. Back knee down, relax your back foot, and let's go on the other side. So start up high or even hands to thigh if you prefer. And just begin to let that right hip soften towards the floor. And remember, it's fine to move around, play with the pose. Just listen to your body. Notice, where are you tense? If you're tensing up through the hips and through the quads, actively soften them. If you want more, come down to the elbows. You might find one side is a little easier than the other, and that's perfectly fine. Climb back up onto those hands. This time the left foot comes a heel turn wider. Roll it onto the outside edge. Gentle pressure into the inner thigh. Now if this doesn't feel good, just stay with the stretch before. Foot comes flat and turn left, open wide. Ease that left shoulder back. Create some space to breathe. Hand down, tuck the back toes and push back to down dog once again. Now here, just walk through the feet, pedal the feet, stretch out the calves. And then let the heels settle and just keep easing that chest back towards your thighs. Now we're going to stay with hips. We're moving to swan pose. Lift your right leg up. Sweep it through between the hands and let it rest down so that your heel is either coming to your groin, or if you're a little more flexible, you can bring your foot so that your shin is parallel. Now you want to roll your left hip towards your right heel. If this is too much today, then you're going to take your legs to 90-90 and still focus on left hip towards right heel. And first, I want you to push the hands into the floor, start to lift the chest. Now on your next out breath, just begin to walk your hands forwards. You might stop here, you might be able to get all the way down. Soften through those hips. Just let your body melt towards the floor. Begin to walk your hands to the right side and settle over the right leg. Hands come back to the center. Begin to walk your hands back in. Tuck the back toe under and push back to down dog. Gonna make our way to the other side. So this time, lift your left leg up. Let it sweep through and the heel rests down either at the groin or draw the leg forwards for a stronger stretch. Right hip rolls down towards the ground. Push into the floor and lift your chest. Everybody's going to feel this in a different place depending on where you're tight. Hips, outer glutes. Try not to grip, just relax. Now we're going to walk our hands forward, so as you exhale, just come to where you feel is the maximum edge of your pose. Notice your breath. Check you're still taking long, deep breaths. And begin to walk those hands over the left. Let your body fold down over your left thigh. Hands back to the middle and then walk your hands in. From here, we're going to come to 90-90. Okay? Just sit nice and tall. Take a deep breath in and push your hips forwards. So squeeze your butt super tight, hips forwards, big stretch into the front of the hip flexors. And then come on down and just let your knees come to the other side. Sweep up and over, squeezing your butt, pressing those hips forwards. Let's just take one more each side. Switch the knees, up and over. And last one, switch the knees, up and over. And come on down. Okay, hope everybody's okay. We're going to stay with a little bit more focus on the hips. Now we're about to come to frog pose. If you know that frog pose is not for you today, then feel free to rest in child's pose as an option. Otherwise, we're going to take our knees super wide and just take your ankles in line with the knees. The sides of the feet onto the floor. Let the knees slide apart just to the edge of where you can feel the bite of that stretch. And come on down onto your elbows. Now this is quite an intense stretch, so anytime you need to come out of it, just take child's pose. Now if you're feeling brave, try shifting your weight back, and that's going to really intensify that stretch. And you can move gently forwards and back. Feeling good, slide the knees even further apart. Just be aware of your breath. Sometimes people hold their breath here because it can be uncomfortable. The more you can lengthen your breath, the deeper you're going to get into your stretch. Last few breaths. Okay, to come out of here safely, climb back onto your hands, tuck your toes and lift your knees up. Fabulous. Okay. Next up, if you do have any knee issues and you can't kneel, or you want to put a cushion under your knees, that's fine. We're going to take toes pose, okay? So you're going to tuck your toes underneath so that we're getting a nice foot stretch. Now for some people, just sitting here with the toes tucked is enough, okay? Some people find this enough of a stretch. But if you want a deeper stretch, we're going to let the weight sit back onto our heels here, okay? You can even come back here, hands to the floor. You choose, but the idea is to get a nice stretch through the foot and through the toes. So wherever you're comfortable, if this is enough, sit up tall. If you want to take the weight back, take the weight back. Okay, release from there and just give your feet a little shake. Let the blood come back into them. Now choose to either leave the feet relaxed with the backs of the feet to the floor, or tuck the toes once again. Take a deep breath in to lift the arms, squeeze the butt, push the hips forwards, and as you exhale, just let the right hand come to either the right heel or maybe just to the lower back if the right heel is not accessible for you today. Keep pressing those hips forwards. Now, eye gaze can be down or up, however you feel comfortable. Now, inhale, lift the right arm and exhale, left hand comes down, either to the heel or to the lower back, your choice. Inhale, lift the left arm, and exhale, just come down to kneeling. Now, this one is going to stretch the ankles, okay? We're not going to be here long, so if it's too strong, just take a little rest. With your butt sitting onto your heels, see if you can lift your knees off the floor, just creep the hands back, and you should feel a nice stretch into the front of the ankle. Now, if you have any ankle issues, just miss this one out, maybe take child's pose for a few breaths. And release. Okay, I'm going to start to work a little bit more into our spine. So come onto all fours, just set your knees underneath your hips, hands underneath your shoulders, find a nice neutral spine. Now we're going to work through some cat-cow. So arch your back, round your back, tucking in your chin, push the floor away, really spread the shoulders apart, and then reverse that move, lifting your chest, arching your back. I just want you to move between those two at your own pace, spending a few seconds in each, really waking up the back body. When we round in cat, as you start to get warmer, really push your back up towards the sky as much as you can. And settle back to the center. Now we're going to work some rotation here. So staying where you are, just take your right hand and thread it, slide it all the way along the carpet. Keep sliding as far as you can, and then rest your shoulder and your head down. Inhale, lift up, and as you exhale, let's take the other side. So left hand slides along the carpet as far as you can reach. Rest your head and rest your shoulder. Inhale and lift up. Okay, staying with some spinal work, but also working into our hips here. This one's easier to set up from standing, I think. So we're going to come to a lower Hindi squat. So your feet are just outside your hips. You're going to sink down, keeping your heels on the floor. Use your elbows as a lever to open up your thighs. Now the goal here is to be as tall as we can. So if your heels are lifting, try taking your feet a bit wider. If you need to come up higher, that's fine. But try and lift the crown of the head to the ceiling and the hips down between the heels. Now I said we were going to work rotation. So on your next inhale, open the right arm, and as you exhale, let that shoulder really rotate up and back. Get a big stretch into the right pec. Hand comes down, let's try the other side. Open wide and really allow the shoulder to rotate up and back. And release and just come to seated. Okay, we're going to work some seated twists. Now you have two options here. You can either stay with long legs, taking your right leg, crossing it outside your left leg, or if you're a little bit more flexible, you can let that left leg tuck in. And just check here that both sit bones are grounded. Now I want you to inhale to lift your chest, hug the right knee in, and then exhale to revolve. So we should be turning towards the leg that is in front of us. Now think of that hand behind you like a second spine. So press into the hand to lengthen your back body and use your out breaths to just rotate as far as you can. Eye gaze walks back, but without collapsing into the spine. Try and create some space between the vertebrae here. Opening the twist, right hand to right ankle, left hand behind, and eye gaze over your left shoulder. Again, sit tall, space between each vertebrae. And gently release. Okay, let's try the other side. So this time, left leg is either crossing over a long right leg, so you can stay here, or if you want to, right leg tucks in, but the sit bones must be grounded here. Inhale to lift tall, exhale to twist. Eye gaze to the left side. Length and space in the spine. And release and open the twist. Left hand to left ankle, right hand behind. From here. Now we're going to stay with some rotation work, but lying down. So I want you to find enough space that you've got room to move your knees either side of you. Just roll yourself down, lying back with your arms out wide. Knees come up over your hips. And from here, just let the knees fall towards the front of the room, but keep your shoulders grounded. So two shoulders in contact with the floor. Now if you want to increase the twist, lift your head and turn it away from your knees. Should really feel a nice stretch into your mid-back, into your thoracic spine. Depending on where you're tight, you may also feel this across the front of the shoulder here and the chest if you have very tight pecs, if we sit at a desk all day. So you might get a bit of a two-way stretch. Now, only an option, but you can extend your top leg and just catch it with the hand. But just check that still the shoulders are grounded down. Don't let that back shoulder lift up. Got hold of the foot, gently release. The knees are coming slowly back up to the center. Keeping the shoulders grounded, let the knees fall to the back of the room this time. Remember, if you want a deeper stretch, lift your head, turn it away from your knees. Check all the muscles are relaxed, there's no tension, we're not gripping, even the face and jaw should be soft. If you want that little bit extra, you're going to extend the top leg, catch it with your hand. Now it is just an option, and each side of your body might feel different. So maybe one side this is a little bit too much, but you did it on the first side, that's perfectly okay. Gently release your foot, bring your knees back to the center and just pop your feet onto the floor. Now we're going to spend a little bit of time now on hamstrings. So your front leg is going to lift up and you can catch the leg and hold it wherever you're comfortable. So it might be your thigh, it might be your calf, it might be your ankle, wherever you're comfortable. But for just now, try and keep your shoulders on the floor. Keep that contact between the shoulders and the floor. Now gently easing the leg back. Don't worry if your leg is slightly bent. If you want a deeper stretch, extend the other leg away long. Just easing that leg in, never forcing, but likewise when the bite of the stretch does ease off, then ease the leg just a bit closer. Want to, you can give the ankle a little roll in each direction. Now take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, lift your shoulders up and bring your nose towards your knee. It doesn't need to touch the knee, just towards the knee. Release your shoulders to the floor, but keep the leg where it is. Now from here, you're going to let the leg open wide. Take the other hand down at the back, out wide as a counterbalance. Now you can either hold on to your big toe and let gravity ease the leg down, or if this is too strong of a stretch, then rest your arm to the floor and let your hand catch the calf to support your leg. So your choice. As we're here, just try and be aware of your hip bones and keep them towards the ceiling. So keep them pointing towards the ceiling. The back arm is counterbalancing the leg. So shoulder should be grounded. There should be gravity doing the hard work here. the leg back to the center. Release your foot. Let's take that all on the other side. So you can start with your feet on the floor. Back leg comes up. And just catch it and ease it in. Maybe you're holding thigh or calf or ankle. Remember here our shoulders are still grounded. For those that want to increase the stretch, the other leg is sliding away and lengthening. Long inhale, exhale, and lift nose towards knee. And release your shoulders down to the floor. Okay, front arm comes wide, palm down. The leg is going to fall to the back of the room. Maybe you're holding your toe, or maybe your elbow is on the floor and your palm is going to catch your calf. Just check in with the hip bones, check that they're still towards the ceiling. Our shoulders are still in contact with the floor, and that we're not tensing. We're letting gravity carry the leg down. Slowly let that leg come back to the center. And before we come to seated, we're just going to roll over onto our tummy to do a little bit of work for our pecs. Or especially if we're at a desk all day, they get really, really tight. So just come onto your tummy, take your arms out into a T shape. The hand at the front of the room is going to come up underneath your shoulder. Now just use that to press into, and you're going to come onto your side. So you're stacked here on your side. If this is a strong enough stretch for your shoulder, stay. If you want more, lift the top leg, take it up and back, and you should be feeling the stretch here into this pec that's closest to the floor. If it gets too strong, just come back to your tummy and rest. More breaths. And roll back to the tummy. Let's try the other side. So arms wide. This time the back hand comes under the back shoulder. Press into it so that you're stacked on your side. And then choose to either stay or lift the foot up and back. And gently release and gently make your way up to seated. Okay, let's stay with the focus of the pecs and the front body, stretching those out. So I want you to take your hands close to your butt. Now fingertips forwards or side or back is fine. You can play with this to see how it feels. Your heels are going to come close to your butt, squeezing the butt to lift the hips up, and you should get a real nice stretch across the front of your chest. Gently release, because I know this is quite a lot for your wrists. You can give them a little shake here, and then come back, reset, and lift. Really think about imprinting the hips onto the ceiling. The higher you lift, the stronger the stretch you're going to get across the front of the chest. Come on down, relax your wrists. We're going to go one more time. So your heels close, squeeze and lift. And release. Okay, how are we doing for time? Yeah, we've got time. One more set of stretches. So we're going to take our feet out wide. Now you can lift your hips here and just let your tailbone sit back. It's going to give you a little bit more space to stretch. Self-adjust the legs. Sit as tall as you can. And then as we exhale, thinking about tipping from your hip, begin to walk your hands forwards with a long back. Don't worry if you're way up here, that's absolutely fine. Or if you need to soften your knees, also are fine. Depending where you're the most tight, some people might feel this into their back, some people might feel it more into the legs. Everybody's tight in different areas. Just accept the stretch and try and walk your hands a little further forwards with each out breath. We're going to walk in and we're going to take a big stretch for our side body. So lifting your right arm up and over, keeping your top shoulder back here, we're going to reach towards the left foot. Now you may or may not manage to catch the foot, but try not to collapse in like that. Lift your right shoulder up and back, so that you've got loads of space to breathe. The rib cage should have space to expand. You should feel a strong stretch into this right side. And lift up. Let's try the other side. So remember, it's okay if you can't reach your foot. It's more important to keep this top shoulder up and back. So there's no collapsing in on yourself here. And release. Just draw your legs together. Give your legs a little shake off. Guys, we are done for this morning. I hope everybody enjoyed that stretch. You should feel nice, you should feel set up for the day. I hope everybody's coping with lockdown. And just remember, stretching is super important. So we should all do more stretching.